Prime Minister concludes very productive visit to China. Members of Jamaica's team to Moscow receive heartfelt congrats and welcome on return to the island. And Sport Minister welcomes FIFA World Cup trophy. You're watching Jamaica House Weekly. I'm Simone Wolfe. All last week, Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller and a team of ministers and support staff were in China for a 5-day official visit, which has been described as very successful. On Tuesday, Mrs. Simpson Miller was welcomed warmly at the Beijing Capital International Airport by China's Assistant Foreign Minister, the Chinese Ambassador to Jamaica, and Jamaica's Ambassador to China. On the first working day of her visit, the Prime Minister met with the executives of companies doing business in Jamaica. In her talks with Complant, which runs 3 Jamaican sugar factories, plans were made to deepen investment offerings on the island. Meanwhile, China Harbour Engineering Company, through its parent company, China Communications Construction Company, announced plans to make Jamaica its regional hub.
We're very happy, more than happy, to give all the support we can to CCC for establishing your hub in Jamaica.
After the pomp and pageantry of an official welcome ceremony, the Prime Minister witnessed the signing of 4 agreements between the governments of Jamaica and the People's Republic of China. They included an agreement for Jamaica to receive preferential loan support from the China Exim Bank to fuel the island's major infrastructure development program, MIDP. There is also an agreement for Jamaica to receive the equivalent of $16 million in grant aid for various projects. The Chinese government has committed to the construction of 2 infant schools, and a technical team will be sent to Jamaica to participate in a feasibility study project called the Teaching Building of the Confucius Institute. The Prime Minister and her delegation also discussed investment opportunities with the China Development Bank and China Gizoba Group Corporation, the CGGC. And Mrs. Simpson Miller met with the Chinese President and Chairman of the National People's Congress, with all parties agreeing that the countries would continue to strengthen their relationship through trade, cultural exchange, and increased business investments. Prime Minister Portia Simpson Miller also made time last week to issue a heartfelt congratulatory statement to the island's team to the recently concluded IAAF World Championships in Moscow. She said the team's 3rd-place performance of 6 gold, 2 silver and 1 bronze medal went beyond the country's wildest dreams. Even as she congratulated the athletes, Mrs. Simpson Miller pledged the government's continued support and called on Jamaicans to do the same. Back in Jamaica, Minister without portfolio with responsibility for sport, Natalie Nita Headley, led a welcome party for last week's return of some of the athletes who represented Jamaica in Moscow.
I believe that we did exceptionally well, and we have a lot to be proud of.
Mrs. Nita Headley also spoke to Jamaica's efforts to keep its image in good standing amidst news that the IAAF had adopted the new water code, which will see tougher penalties for doping offenses come January 1, 2015.
We remain committed as a country to ensuring that we preserve the integrity in sport, and that for many years we have remained a country that has really been complicit with all of what is required of us as part of the World Anti-Doping rules. And we intend to ensure that nothing will spoil the good name of Jamaica.
And at another sporting engagement, Minister Nita Headley called on the nation to be inspired by the FIFA World Cup trophy, which will be on display at the National Indoor Sports Centre on October 6.
I encourage all football fans, all parents, including Issa, don't think I'm not seeing, to take all the children with you. Have them see this trophy when it arrives in Jamaica. This is truly the stuff that dreams are made of.
Jamaica is one of 39 countries across the world where the Coca-Cola sponsored tour will make stops before it returns to Brazil for the 2014 World Cup. And that's how we leave you on today's edition of Jamaica House Weekly. Join us next week for the latest coming out of the office of the Prime Minister.